boy, we got some breaking news. Oh, yes, that's right. The two spring football leagues are merging. Yep. I just was scrolling on my phone and I got a notification from the ESPN app, so I'm going to show you the article on here. All right. Breaking news. Spring football leagues XFL USFL announced plan to merge. This is on the ESPN.com. It says here the XFL and USFL said Thursday that the two spring football leagues plan to merge and begin play next year. In a joint statement, the XFL and USFL said the merger will be subject to customary regulatory approvals. If the transaction is consummated, the leagues will establish best-in-class operations based on the most recent seasons of both leagues. The league said, This historic combination will anchor professional spring football with substantial capabilities and resources to ensure future growth and continue to enhance the development of the collective players, coaches, and staff that are coming together. The XFL is owned by movie star Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and his ex-wife, Danny Garcia, while the USFL is under the ownership of Fox Corporation. Johnson and Garcia led the ownership group that purchased the XFL for $15 million from longtime WWE chairman Vince McMahon, who owned the original version of the league that folded in 2001 and oversaw its 2020 relaunch that was suspended mid-season because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Despite entering bankruptcy under McMahon, the XFL played a full 2023 season under the ownership of Johnson and Garcia. The USFL first operated for 3 seasons from 1983 to 1985 before folding and relaunching in 2022. Information from Reuters was used in this report. So yeah, that's what it says here. This is big news. Now, excuse me. So, you guys might know, or you might not know, I love the XFL. I watched a whole bunch of games in 2023. When it was relaunched in 2020, I watched a lot of games too, but then, COVID happened and the season got canceled. That's a shame because my favorite team is the Houston Roughnecks because they're the closest team to me. And in 2020, they were undefeated. They looked like they were the best team, and then the season got canceled. And then got bankrupt, and Dwayne Johnson purchased the league, and the plan was for them to bring it back in 2022. But instead, they took another year off, and then they finally came back in 2023. And the USFL came back in 2022. So I watched a lot of USFL games in 2022. However, all the games were played in Birmingham. If you remember, if you watched the USFL games in 2022, all the games were played in Birmingham, except for the semifinals and the championship game. They were played in Canton, Ohio. But that's a fun league too, and then both leagues played in 2023, but they weren't happening at the same time. The XFL started first. It came back the weekend after the Super Bowl, so like mid-February. And then the USFL came back, I believe, in late April. Yeah, late April. And by the time XFL season was almost over, so they had I think like 2 weeks where both leagues were playing at the same time, but for the most part they were kind of separate. I did not watch much USFL this year because the teams were not playing in their own venues. I don't like that, you know. I watched it last year because I wanted to watch spring football, but after that season, I'm like, all right, next year, 2023, every team needs to play in their own venue, and that didn't happen. Um, they played in Birmingham, Memphis, and Detroit. So they played in three different cities, but some cities they didn't play in their own, or some teams they didn't play in their own venue. So I didn't watch much, but I did watch the semifinals and the championship, and that was it. Um, but anyway, this merger is pretty big. This is something that a lot of people want to see because XFL and USFL they both have 8 teams, so I guess it's 16 teams total if all 8 teams are going to be in it. Um, Both leagues are very similar. They're very similar. The rules are pretty much the same. um, I know in XFL, when you score a touchdown, there's no extra point, a kick. It's all from the field. You know, like you get a 1 point conversion from the 3 yard line, a 2 point conversion from the 5 yard line, and a 3 point conversion from the 10 yard line. There's no kicks after the touchdown. I think USFL is the same thing. Um, I think their kickoffs are different. I know XFL, no one can move during the kickoff until the receiver catches the ball, then everyone gets to move. I don't think USFL's like that. But I don't know why the USFL came back after 35 years, right? Because it said they operated for 3 seasons from 1983 to 1985. Why did they came back 35 years later or 37 years later? And why come back when every team can't play in their own venue? That just makes no sense. Yes, all their games were broadcast, but I'm pretty sure not many people were watching the games. And there wasn't that many fans in the stadiums because, you know, like for example, Houston versus New Orleans is playing in Birmingham. How many people are going to go to that game? Hardly anyone. You know, that's why they got to play in their own venues, and that's what the XFL did. All their teams played in their own venues, and that they did it the right way, you know. So now both leagues are merging. I think this is the right thing to do, and we'll see what happens later on. Yeah. Anyway, that's basically it. And after USFL season ended, man, I watched a lot of CFL games ever since. Yeah, CFL season's still going. It's a Canadian football league. I honestly like that the best out of all the football leagues. I like that one the best. I know it's funny. I live nowhere near Canada, but I really like that league. It's so fun. Um, the CFL season's almost over. It ends in about a month and a half or so. Um, I think my favorite team is the Montreal Alouettes. I like watching that team. Um, but that league only has 9 teams. Yeah, they have an odd number of teams. They have East Division and West Division. They got 5 teams in the West Division and 4 teams in the East Division. And all 4 teams in the East Division, the cities are close to each other if you look on the map. So, but yeah. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this. And yeah, earlier this year I released quite a bit of XFL videos because they were actually not copyrighted. Yeah, believe it or not, they were not copyrighted because it's not like the NFL where it's huge, where everyone watches it. So, yeah. Anyway, I think that's it. So this is big news. Oh gosh, these two shirts. Let's merge them. What if it'd be funny if there's a shirt where it's like half and half XFL, half USFL. So it should be called the US XFL. US XFL. US XFL. What does the X even stand for? According to Homer Simpson, it stands for extreme, but it was extreme in 2001, but it really wasn't in this year. You know, there's a 30 for 30 documentary called "This Was the XFL." I can find it on here real quick because I currently have ESPN Plus. But look at, man, ESPN Plus is awesome. They have so much content. It's kind of like Peacock, you know? There is so much on here. Oops. Oh wait, these are recent releases. Okay, here we go. Football. Yeah, there's a bunch of football documentaries. Wait, what? Where is it? Do they not have it anymore? Do they not have it anymore? I don't know. Excuse me. But anyway, it was actually a really good documentary, you know. It's funny, the XFL, it didn't come back for another 19 years, you know. But anyway, it should be on here. I could just search it, right? Can I just search it? It's called "This Was the XFL." Do they have it? I don't know. It's not on here. It might be on YouTube, but that's the name of it. Great documentary. Alright, folks. Thank you for watching, and more videos coming soon. I got a channel update video coming later today of what's going to be happening in the month of October, so keep an eye out for that. Make sure you have the notification. Alright, talk to you later.